So we're all waiting for the RippaVerse, right? This one's to the haters. Eric July's has been obviously getting a lot of attention over this, and it seems like mostly positive from where I'm sitting, but apparently in his experience he's also getting more negative attention than for anything else he's done. I have a few thoughts about this for those people who are hating, quote unquote, and for those people who are sitting watching and wondering if there's something to that, or are wondering why this is going on. Eric has been very critical of mainstream comics for a while, and many of the resulting movies and the choices that were made in the production of those movies. And I think people see that as him making a living off of being negative, but not all criticism is purely negative. It's especially when it's coming from a place of, you guys used to be really good. There's all of this example in the past, and you're screwing up right now. And I think it kind of started that way. Certainly, that's where the frustration comes from, because if you don't like them in the first place, there's really nothing to complain about, right? There's no disappointment there, which is an interesting thing to think about in reverse. Why do these people care so much to complain about him? Maybe they're just trying to make a point. I don't know. The thing is, there's nothing to criticize yet, though. The thing is, with him, the comic's not out. There's nothing really to criticize yet. Everything that's out there in the open is all positive. So they're having a real hard time, those who are wanting, wishing this was failing more than it is, and are probably expecting it to come apart at some point. But they're having a difficult time processing what they're seeing happen, which is something be very successful from somebody that was, from their point of view, complaining, and that they thought was probably doing nothing but complaining. But in fact, no, he was quietly working on his own alternative. And if you really had paid any attention to him, he did a lot more than just criticize the comic industry. He spoke about his political philosophy. He had backwards, still has backwards. So there's a lot of positivity in what he was actually doing, if you're paying attention. But not to them, not from their point of view. So understand, haters and anyone watching from the sidelines, it might look like he was out there being negative, but really he was voicing a lot of the frustrations and concerns that many other people have. And now he's putting his money where his mouth is, and people want to see for themselves what that's going to be. And they're willing, to compensate him up front to give him the best shot possible. I don't mind doing it. I've gotten a lot of free content from him personally. I kind of look at this, even if I don't like it moving forward, I look at it as compensating him for all the free stuff I've gotten over time. For me, that makes sense. So it's going to be even more interesting if it ends up being, maybe doesn't keep, we're peaking out right now, right? So moving forward, there's a chance like things are going to balance out a little bit. So they're going to, the storyline's going to become, oh, it failed compared to $3.4 million. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll just keep going up. But if it doesn't, which is more likely than not, just because that's reality, how reality usually works, and we've already sort of seen this project outperform its expectations, there's a real chance it'll normalize to some degree. It'll still probably be at a very high level relative to what was expected, but since it'll be lower than the peak we're seeing, that'll get turned into a story of, well, it failed after all, right? We'll see if that happens. I wouldn't be surprised. They're going to find any way to just turn this into a negative thing. And it's not going to matter That's really the message. It's not going to matter. Because the people who are going to be into it are going to be into it. And if you're not, you're not. And the people who are willing to give it a chance ahead of time, like me, we're going to do what we're going to do anyway. And there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing any of you can do about it. And, you know, maybe you should put your money where your mouth is. If you know how to do it better, know how to do it right, and you're confident that you can get the support that you need to make that succeed, then you should go for it, because we all need more options. You know, you can enter into this as well if that's something you actually care about. So that's my challenge. Like, take your criticism, which you don't have much to criticize yet anyway, but take whatever that feeling is, if you really care about this stuff, turn it productive like Eric has done himself, and show us how to do it even better. Because I want to see that. I want to see someone come out and do it even better. And so does Eric, I'm sure. So do that. RippaVerse is on its way, guys.